Hello students, welcome to ePathshala. I am Amitabh Dwivedi, Associate Professor of Public Administration in DAV College, Chandigarh. Ministry of Finance is considered to be one of the strongest ministries in any governments. This is because of its role in generation, distribution and custody of government funds. We all know that demand for finance is never ended. As such, there is a need to manage it properly. Furthermore, there is also a need to generate more and more finances so as to finance new programs of the government. This is perhaps the reason why the Minister of Finance also holds a significant position in party in power. The main objective of this module is to know the history of the Ministry of Finance, to understand its structure, functions, and to understand its role. Origin. The origin of the ministry can be traced back to the year 1810 when for the first time a separate Department of Finance was created. In 1879, it was renamed as Department of Finance and Commerce. In 1905, it was redesignated as Department of Finance. After independence, it was renamed as Ministry of Finance. It underwent a change when the total number of departments under it were raised from 3 to 5. The same pattern is still continuing with minor modification. All the departments are looked after by the officer of the rank of secretary. Structure of the ministry. The Ministry of Finance comprises of the following 5 departments, namely Department of Economic Affairs, Department of Revenue, Department of Expenditure, Department of Financial Services, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. Department of Economic Affairs. It comprises of the following divisions, namely Aid, Accounts and Audit Division, Administration and Coordination Division, Bilateral Cooperation Division, Budget Division, Capital Market Division, Currency and Coinage Division, Economic Division, IES Division, Infrastructure and Energy Division, Investment Division, Integrated Finance Division, Middle Office, Debt Management, Multilateral Institutions Division, Multilateral Relations Division, Press Relation Information Division, Office of the Chief Controller of Accounts. Important functions of the Department of Economic Affairs. The department tenders expert advice to the government on important issues of economic policy. The division monitors economic developments, domestic and external, and advises on policy measures relating to macro management of the economy. It is responsible for the preparation of and submission to the Parliament the annual budget, excluding railways, as well as supplementary and excess demands for grants of the central government and of states under President's rule. The division is also responsible for dealing with issues relating to public debt management, market loans of the central government and state governments borrowing and lending, guarantees given by Government of India and the Contingency Fund of India. The responsibility of the department also extends to regulate the flow of expenditure by processing proposals from other ministries or departments for reappropriation of savings in a grant where prior approval of the Ministry of Finance is required. It also deals with National Saving Institute, small saving schemes and National Defence Fund. The work relating to treasurer, charitable endowment is also handled in the budget division. This division also deals with matters relating to duties, powers and conditions of service of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Simplified framework for capital raising by technological startups and other companies on institutional trading platform. It also performs the functions of bilateral official development assistance policy, financial advice, and concurrence to the proposals involving expenditure in respect of DEA and DFS, as well as their attached and subordinate offices. Exercising expenditure control and management, ensuring rationalization of expenditure and compliance of economy measures in accordance with the instructions of Department of Expenditure. The MI division is concerned with policy matters of multilateral institutions like World Bank Group, International Monetary Fund, Asian Development Bank, African Development Bank, New Development Bank, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. It also performs the functions of taking forward and conceiving new initiatives related to infrastructure financing and promotion of investment in infrastructure sectors. AAAD under Department of Economic Affairs implements the financial covenants of external loans, grants obtained, received by Government of India from various multilateral and bilateral donors. Administration Division is responsible for personnel and office administration, implementation of official language policy of the government, implementation of the Right to Information Act 2005, grants in aid, redressal of public grievances, training of officials, record retaining schedule, complaints committee on sexual harassment of women employees. Department of Revenue. The Department of Revenue functions under the overall direction and control of the Secretary Revenue. It exercises control in respect of matters relating to all direct and indirect union taxes through two statutory boards, namely Central Board of Direct Taxes and Central Board of Excise and Customs. Each board is headed by a chairman who is also ex officio special secretary to the Government of India. Matters relating to levy and collection of all the direct taxes are looked after by the CBDT, whereas those relating to levy and collection of customs and central excise duties and other indirect taxes fall within the purview of CBEC. The two boards were constituted under the Central Board of Revenue Act 1963. At present, the CBDT has 6 members and CBEC has 5 members. The members are also ex officio additional secretaries to the Government of India. The headquarters of the Department of Revenue looks after matters relating to all administration work pertaining to the department. Coordination between the two boards, CBEC and CBDT. It also looks after the administration of the Indian Stamp Act 1899, the Central Sales Tax Act 1956, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, the Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act 1976, the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 and the Conservation of Foreign Exchange and Prevention of Smuggling Activities Act 1974, and also matters relating to the following attached or subordinate offices of the department. The functions of the Department of Revenue. The Department of Revenue is mainly responsible for the following functions. Number 1, all matters relating to levy and collection of direct taxes. Number 2, all matters relating to levy and collection of indirect taxes. Number 3, investigation into economic offences and enforcement of economic laws. Number 4, framing of policy for cultivation, export and fixation of price of opium, etc. Number 5, prevention and combating use of narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances and illicit traffic therein. Number 6, enforcement of FEMA and recommendation of detention under COFEPOSA. Number 7, work relating to forfeiture of property under the Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act 1976 and Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, Financial Intelligence Unit of India. Number 8. Levy of taxes on sales in the course of interstate trade or commerce. Number 9. Matters relating to consolidation, reduction, exemption from payment of stamp duty under Indian Stamp Act 1899. Number 10. Residual work of gold control. Number 11. Matters relating to CESTAT, cadre control of IRS Group A and IRS C&CE Group A. The department also administers the following acts, namely Income Tax Act 1961, Wealth Tax Act 1958, Expenditure Tax Act 1987, Benami Transactions Act 1988, Super Profits Act 1963, Companies Surtax Act 1964, Compulsory Deposit Scheme Act 1974, Chapter 7 of Finance Act 2004, Chapter 5 of Finance Act 1994, Central Excise Act 1944 and related matters, Customs Act 1962 and related matters, Medicinal and Toilet Preparations Act 1955, Central Sales Tax Act 1957, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, Prevention of Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1988, Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act 1976, Indian Stamp Act 1899, Conservation of Foreign Exchange and Prevention of Smuggling Activities Act 1974, Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999 and Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. The department looks after the matters relating to the above mentioned acts through the following attached and subordinate offices, namely, number 1, Commissionerate or Directorates under Central Board of Excise and Customs, Commissionerates, Directorates under Central Board of Direct Taxes, Central Economic Intelligence Bureau, Directorate of Enforcement, Central Bureau of Narcotics, Chief Controller of Factories, Appellate Tribunal for Forfeited Property, Income Tax Settlement Commission, Custom and Excise Settlement Commission, Custom Excise and Service Tax Appellate Tribunal, Authority for Advance Ruling for Income Tax, Authority for Advance Ruling for Custom and Central Excise, National Committee for Promotion of Social and Economic Welfare, competent authorities appointed under Smuggler and Foreign Exchange Manipulators Act 1976 and Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, Foreign Intelligence Unit of India and Income Tax Ombudsman. Department of Expenditure. The Department of Expenditure is the nodal department for overseeing the public financial management system in the central government and matters connected with state finances. The principal activities of the department include pre-sanction appraisal of major schemes, projects, both planned and non-planned expenditure, handling the bulk of central budgetary resources transferred to states, implementation of recommendations of the Finance and Central Pay Commissions, overseeing the expenditure management in the central ministries or departments through the interface with financial advisors, administration of the financial rules, regulations, orders through monitoring of audit, comments, observations, preparation of central government accounts, managing the financial aspects of personal management in the central government, assisting central ministries, departments in controlling the costs and prices of public services, assisting organizational re-engineering through review of staffing patterns and O&M studies and reviewing systems and procedures to optimize outputs and outcomes of public expenditure. The department is also responsible for coordinating matters concerning the Ministry of Finance, including Parliament-related work of the ministry. The department has under its administrative control the National Institute of Financial Management, Faridabad. The business allocated to the Department of Expenditure is carried out through its Establishment Division, Plan Finance 1 and 2 Divisions, Finance Commission Divisions, Staff Inspection Unit, Cost Accounts Branch, Controller General of Accounts and the Central Pension Accounting Office. Department of Expenditure, Direct Benefit Transfer Mission, Procurement Policy Division, Staff Inspection Unit, Pay Research Unit, Office of the Chief Advisor Cost, National Institute of Finance Management. Department of Financial Services. The department is responsible for administering and coordinating the work of insurance, banking, and pension sectors. Number 1, insurance. The department looks into policy relating to general insurance, Administration of Insurance Act 1938, and General Insurance Business Nationalization Act 1972, and related matters. General insurance and reinsurance companies in public sector, policy relating to life insurance, Administration of Life Insurance Corporation Act 1956 and related matters, and Life Insurance Corporation of India. It also looks into Administration of Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999 and related matters, and also the responsibility of central government relating to matters concerning centrally administered areas in respect of any of the entries from 1 to 3 above. Number 2, banking. It looks into all the matters related to Indian banks, whether nationalized or not, all matters relating to foreign banks so far as their operations in India are concerned, all matters relating to Reserve Bank of India, all matters relating to cooperative banking, matters concerning All India Development Financial Institution, including those relating to Industrial Development Bank of India, IFCI, Small Scale Industrial Development Bank of India, and Industrial Investment Bank of India. Matters concerning Export Import Bank of India, Administration of Shipping Development Fund Committee Act 1986, matters relating to Scindia Steamship Navigation Company, matters relating to Infrastructural Development Finance Corporation and Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services, Jet Fund and other non-banking companies accepting deposits, other matters relating to banking in India, matters relating to National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, Administration of the Regional Rural Banks Act, Administration of the Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Financial Institutions Act 1993, matters relating to implementation of State Financial Corporation Act 1951, matters relating to implementation of the Sikh Industrial Companies Act 1985, including matters relating to Board for Industrial Financial Reconstruction and Appellate Authority for India Industrial Financial Reconstruction, all matters relating to National Housing Bank, administration of all other statutes, regulations and other laws connected with entries 38, 45 and 46 of Union List and entry 9 of the concurrent list, matters concerning securitization and foreclosure, administration of the Special Court Act 1992, administration of Banking Regulation Act 1949, the Banking Companies Act 1970 and the Banking Companies Act 1980, the Bankers Books Evidence Act 1891 and the Banking Service Commission Act 1984. Administration of State Bank of India Act 1955 and the State Bank of India Subsidiary Banks Act 1959, the Reserve Bank of India Act 1953, Administration of State Agricultural Credit Corporation Act 1968, Administration of Public Financial Institutions Act 1983, Administration of the Deposits Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Act 1961, Administration of Instruments Act 1881. Pension reforms. It looks into coordinating and introducing pension reforms, policy matters relating to National Pension Scheme and its extension to state governments and unorganized sector, implementation of co-contributory Atal Pension Yojana, administrative and legislative matters relating to Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, matters relating to the investment pattern for non-government provident fund, superannuation funds and gratuity funds. Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. Objectives. Its main objective is to promote people's ownership of central public sector enterprises to share in their prosperity through disinvestment, efficient management of public investment in CPSEs for accelerating economic development and augmenting government resources for higher expenditure. Mission: list of SPSCs on stock exchange to promote people's ownership through public participation and improving efficiencies of CPSCs through accountability to its shareholders. To bring in operational efficiency in CPSCs through strategic investment, ensuring their greater contribution to economy. Functions: as per the Government of India Allocation of Business Rule 1961, the mandate of the department is as follows. Number 1, all matters relating to disinvestment of central government equity from CPSC. Number 2, all matters relating to sale of central government equity through offer for sale or private placement in the erstwhile CPSCs. Implementation of disinvestment divisions, including appointment of advisors, pricing of shares and other terms and conditions of disinvestment. Number 4, disinvestment commission. Number 5, CPSCs for purpose of disinvestment of government equity only. Number 6, financial policy in regard to the utilization of the proceeds of disinvestment channelized into the National Investment Fund. The department is headed by Secretary Disinvestment, who is assisted by 4 joint secretaries and economic advisors. Role of Ministry of Finance. The role of Ministry of Finance is similar to the role of heart in the human body. This is because in the monetized economy, nothing moves without money, especially in the government where the entire functioning is in the money terms. All this makes the role of Ministry of Finance important and vital for smooth functioning of the government. It is generator, distributor and custodian of the finances of the government. As generator, it has to devise ways to generate more and more resources from the existing resources, as well as to find new sources of income to the government so as to satiate the demand for money of the different ministries and departments. As distributor, it is its duty to use all its wisdom to ensure that the funds are distributed. It has to be vigilant and keep check so as to ensure that the funds are not wasted through reckless spending. It has to keep balance between the demands and the national priorities. The role of the ministry is becoming more and more challenging due to the impact of globalization, disinvestment, unstable rupee, etc. It has to be on toes all the time, maintaining a balance between the legislative acts and their implementation, keeping the administrative apparatus vigilant and effective so as to keep a check on the increasing economic offenses. Hello students, welcome to e-Pathshala. I am Amitav Dwivedi, Associate Professor of Public Administration in DAV College, Chandigarh. Ministry of Finance is considered to be one of the strongest ministries in any governments. This is because of its role in generation, distribution and custody of government funds. We all know that demand for finance is never ended. As such, there is a need to manage it properly. Furthermore, there is also a need to generate more and more finances so as to finance new programs of the government. This is perhaps the reason why the Minister of Finance also holds a significant position in party in power. To summarize, we can say that the role of Ministry of Finance is similar to heart in human body. This is because in any monetized system, nothing moves without finances, especially in governments where everything is expressed in money terms. All this makes the role of Ministry of Finance vital in the smooth functioning of the government. As generator of finances, it not only has to generate more and more money out of the existing resources, but also has to find new and new sources of income. As distributor, it has to ensure that there is never any shortage of money. And as custodian, it has to keep a vigilant eye so as to ensure that there is no wastage of funds. Globalization and disinvestment has made its role more challenging in the sense that it has to keep a balance between legislative acts and its implementation. It has to keep a vigilant eye on administration so that the ever increasing economic offenses are kept in check.